G'day, I'm Barb and this is The Font, where I talk about books that you might quite like because they're really quite good. It is wonderful to see you all again. I'm afraid I have devastating news. I finished watching all of the episodes of season 4 of The Crown. I'm deeply upset. Anyway, I needed a big pick-me-up. And so for the first time ever, I am presenting my own special Costa Fiction Awards. I'm going to kick off with the fiction category, BTW. The Costas are awarded to books that have popular wide appeal, and there are 2 fiction categories. One is for established writers and one for debut fiction. Today I'm reviewing the established fiction category 2020. I have absolutely enjoyed reading each of these books. This is just my personal order of favorites. They are not to be taken seriously in any way, and I think you should go ahead and do your own awards. You should have some fun, darlings. Why not? In 4th place, we have what I thought was a bit of an oddie actually. It's a crime novel with an interesting plot, and I'm talking about The Less Dead by Denise Mina. The core story of the novel was very good. It's about a doctor called Margot Dunlop, who is going through a rough patch personally. Her adoptive mother has died, and she wants to establish contact with her birth family. She finds out that her birth mother is dead, unfortunately, and that she was a sex worker and a junkie. She was murdered. Her murderer was never convicted for that crime, and her sister, Margot's Aunt Nikki, wants justice. She thinks she knows who murdered her sister, and she wants to nail the scumbag. And a further dark twist, Nikki and Margot receive threatening letters from someone who knows all about the murder, and there is a creepy stalker on Margot's tail. I like the main idea of this story, the idea of justice for the less dead, the women of the street who aren't considered worth protecting. That is a powerful and a worthwhile message. For me, though, this was the weakest of the 4 novels. And this is because of the subplot with Margot's ex, Joe, her friend Lila, and Lila's abusive boyfriend. I felt that I would have liked a fuller ending, but it seemed to end very abruptly, because I think it was too much for a small book to tackle 2 plot lines. I felt the stalker needed more airtime, but still good though. Not a bad novel. It's worth reading. So I awarded The Less Dead the Gyprock Plaque of Excellence because it's not quite bronze. The range of fiction is diverse this year, really diverse in the Costas. So now let us go to the Caribbean. I am of course talking about the lovely Mermaid of Black Conch by Monique Roffey. Pure enjoyment with this book. It has a curse, a mermaid, heart connection, and beautiful language. It is near impossible to go wrong. It is a love story about a mermaid cursed long ago for her beauty and for being far too desirable. Ikaya has spent 1,000 years in the depths of the sea around the Caribbean. She forms a connection with David Baptiste, a local fisherman. She is magnificent, but she has terrible beauty and a power that is more seal-like than human. But she is vulnerable because she is essentially alone. She is caught by 2 American fishermen, and the story is about her time on the land and her experience of human love and connection. I was fascinated by the language and the imagination of the book. It is like a ballad, and the audiobook is marvelous. The accents are magical. The Mermaid of Black Conch can be read in a number of ways. As an environmental novel, the sea has a real presence. The mermaid and the environment are one and the same. Just watch the way that nature reclaims its own. Equally, it is about the legacy of slavery and the terrible consequences of possessing or owning another being. For me, though, this love story is about sadness and loss, the inevitability and loneliness of the curse. It's a lovely, lovely book. And I award it the Donny Benet Heart of Bronze. I'm always on the lookout for books that will encourage reluctant readers to pick up a book. And I really thought that this next book was original and had wide appeal. That book is Piranesi by Susanna, Clarke. The action takes place in an immense series of halls filled with mythological statues. These halls are surrounded by water and dangerous tides, and it is occupied by just one bloke named Piranesi. Sometimes he is visited by someone he calls the other, and his only other companions are 13 skeletons. It's difficult to pin down the genre. It's magical, psychological, it's a mystery, and it has the flavour of a survival adventure. Piranesi has to figure out the mystery of where and who he actually is, and to survive the hostile environment. I am not giving any of you one more bit of information because you have to read it. It is imaginative, and Piranesi is the best sort of unreliable narrator, intelligent, curious and observant. I'll tell you, you'll knock it over in a day or two. You'll have a great time putting together all the pieces of the mystery. It is a popular read and it is excellent. I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads, and it receives the prestigious silver She's a Bloody Good Read Certificate of Excellence from the Font. And now, lovelies, the top award. And let me say that the team that picked the 2020 Costa Fiction Shortlist gets a standing ovation for including this book. It is a very quiet book, and unless you read it to the end, you can blink and miss it. I would have never thought that a book about a diplomat would have any interest for anyone. I'm talking about Peace Talks by Tim Finch. Edward Behrens is leading a team of negotiators who are in the delicate process of resolving a conflict between 2 Middle Eastern factions. These factions are unnamed, and both sides have done mongrel things to each other in their conflict with one another. Edvard is capable and he's intelligent, educated, level-headed, and there is a subtlety about his character that is breathtaking. I literally tear up just thinking about the way he holds himself together. He has lost his wife, Anna, in terrible circumstances. He misses her terribly and he talks to her. And for all his intelligence and quiet authority, he is drowning in sorrow. This is an existential novel. There is no Deus Ex Machina or magic pill. He is an aging man. He has lost his moorings. I initially found it a bit slow, but as I read, I understood his despair, his loss, and his hopeless struggle just to get by. It is absolutely a 5-star read. Without hesitation, it is 5 stars. So the Font salutes this book, and it awards it the prestigious chocolate coin of outstanding writing. I've had a wonderful time this week. Congratulations to our winners. Stay humble. Please subscribe. I absolutely treasure each and every person that subscribes. Thank you so, so much. Please join me next time for the Costa debut fiction shortlist of 2020. Love yous. See yous all. Bye-bye.